why are wetlands important? Two words: water and wildlife. They reduce flood impacts, as we're all experiencing the storms out here in Western Washington. They protect ground and stream water quality. You'll hear people talk about wetlands are like big sponges that are really important to protecting and enhancing the water quality of the surrounding areas. And of course, it goes without saying, wetlands are important habitat for different animals and unique plants. Now, the uniqueness of these wetlands, of course, comes to how they hold all that water in the soil. There's many types of wetlands throughout Washington and around the world, but one through line is that, of course, the soil stays wet for much of the year, but the surface, the water level on the surface can change significantly. Many people have an image of a stream or a pond. Those are also going to be considered wetland spaces, but sometimes you'll not really see a lot of water, but that soil can still be very, very wet throughout much of the year. And of course, in that soil, we've got specially adapted plants that are going to be able to grow in that soil. Unique habitats come from these unique plants for different wildlife that depend on it for habitats or for sustenance. Now, a specific detail about the Algona Wetland Preserve is that it is a forested shrub wetland. And that's one description in that many of the plants are going to be under 20 feet tall, many different types of shrubs, small trees, which also has some mature plants and trees in there as well. So focusing and continuing on some of the primary functions of wetlands, of course, holding water. These two images really highlight the kind of impacts that development can have when you don't have a healthy and functioning wetland. That development changes where the water is able to go or able to be absorbed. We all know concrete doesn't absorb water very well, but wetlands are excellent at this. And of course, we can see that by the Algona Wetland Reserve holding water from the surrounding roads and developed areas. Another important wetland function is, of course, filtering that water. Wetlands are a natural sink where sediment and pollutants from stormwater can be caught and sequestered. That dense vegetation slows down the water flow so you don't lose a lot of sediment into different larger parts of the watershed. Folks in Algona know you're between two really important watersheds, the Green and the White River rivers that are flowing to the north and to the south. And of course, a unique vegetation can absorb those nutrients as well as holding on to those pollutants and preventing them from going further downstream. And last but not least, providing habitat for many different unique species that you'll find throughout Western Washington, but also some species that are going to be unique to those wetland spaces. Frogs, toads, different kinds of snakes and amphibians, including many different songbirds, ducks, and herons are going to call that space home. The great blue heron being on the city of Algona's logo as well. But can't forget about the different kinds of small mammals like beavers, muskrats, raccoons, and bats as well. Now, some of the animals that you'll find and encounter if you have the opportunity to walk around the perimeter or walking through the Algona wetland, some of those examples of those animals here, from the songbirds and the great blue heron and the ducks, to of course beavers, different types of amphibians and invertebrates, and possibly juvenile salmon that may swim up into the creek area as well.